As you know, I'm chatting with Joshua Giuliani about how to book 15 plus strategy calls on social media every week without spending a dime. Now, Joshua shows digital marketing agency owners and other service-based businesses how to get more clients, charge more for their services, and scale. With almost 10 years of experience at theage.com.au and many more years running a digital marketing agency and consultancy firm, Joshua has mastered the ability to position, structure, and leverage an online-based business for growth. So again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And Josh, I'll hand it on over to you.
Thank you very much, Kate. That was very well done. Thank you very much for that intro. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone else that's come tonight. It is Friday night, so thank you for popping in. That is fantastic. Hopefully a couple of you have a couple of glasses of red wine or a beverage of some sort. But we're going to go into some pretty exciting stuff today. I'm going to give you some pretty epic strategies. So if you guys are out there interested in how to use social media to grow your business, how to generate leads without spending any money on ads, you have come to the right place, my friend. So I'm excited to take you through all this. If you have any questions, like Kate said, there will be Q&A at the end, but in the meantime, throw them in the chat box. I'm really, really excited to see some of these questions come through, and I want this to be as interactive as possible. I want you to actually get some genuine value out of this session. So throw them in the chat box. I'll be constantly looking at the questions. I've got them up on this screen over here. So I will answer them as they come up. So feel free to put them in there. In fact, let's get this chat box going right now. So if you are pumped up, just put a 1 in the chat box. And if you're super pumped, if you've been waiting all week for this and you're super jacked and you can't wait to get some value in here, I want you to shoot a 2. Put a 2 in the chat box right now. And let's see some of these people getting involved here. Yeah, 2s and 1s from a bunch of people. Awesome, man. Yeah, okay, nice. So guys, super pumped. What I will say is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, hopefully you can see the screen. If someone could let me know if you can actually see my presentation right now, that would be fantastic. But in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a link there, 7-Figure Nation. That is to my online community. After this prezzo, go check that out. Yeah, awesome, Brian. Thanks. Go check that out. Get involved and ask me any questions that you have after this as well. And I will put the link in the chat box so you guys can go check that out. But guys, let's just get stuck in. From here, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about what a lot of people normally think when it comes to social. And I want to ask you if you've ever thought this as well. I want to ask you, have you ever thought, how do I predictably book more calls with people that know, like, and trust me already? Not just people, not just booking calls, but booking calls with people that know, like, and trust you already. If you've ever thought that, if you've ever thought, I wish I could get a behind the scenes look at the specific daily actions required to dominate the organic lead gen space. And there are people out there that are doing it, and they've got all the same tools that we all have at our disposal. And how many of you have thought, I wish I could easily grow and monetize my social media profiles? This one comes up a lot. I'm working with digital marketing agency owners and service-based business owners all over the world. And this is a big one that I get. They go, Josh, I have the social media profile. I know I'm not doing what I need to do to get the leads, right? What does a guy or girl have to do to create more high ticket sales opportunities? This is something that I hear a lot as well. So how many of you guys have thought that? And what I want you to know at this point is that it's not your fault. And I was just having a conversation with Kate about this before, but there are a lot of people out there, a lot of gurus. They talk about the power of organic. They talk about social media. I'm sure you've already heard that you should be using social media to get leads. There's nothing new, but no one's taking you by the hand and actually showing you how to get the results. And that's what this presentation is all about, is giving you those strategies. All right. You have got, as a business owner, I'm sure you believe you've got a life-changing service, but no one is giving you the skills to actually grow your buyers list using social media. And that's what this prezzo is all about. Everyone is just out there bragging. They're putting up videos and photos of fast cars, and they're pumping you up with motivational speeches, but they're not actually giving you the red hot strategies that you need to be using to actually grow your business on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And we go through all of that in this prezzo. you're losing the opportunity to build the business of your dreams if you are not utilizing social media. So we're going to give you the blueprint that will help you grow your business so that you can live the life that you want. What I want you to think right now is, what if you could say, just think about this right now. What if you could actually say and believe, not just believe on like a, law of attraction kind of level, like, believe it and it becomes your reality, like really believe in your core that you knew exactly what you needed to do to get more clients, charge more, and scale your business predictably using social media? What if you knew that you knew exactly how to connect with buyers for your high ticket programs? What if you knew that you had the exact scripts, the exact strategies that you needed to attract your ideal clients? Like just what if you knew that, like on a deep personal level, and you knew that? In fact, in the chats right now, what would that actually mean for you? What would it mean for you if you genuinely could say those things and believed it on a deep level? Would that help you make more money? Would that help you be more confident? Would you go out there with more confidence? Would you have more bravado? Would you be able to position yourself as an authority and actually get more clients? Chuck them in the chat. That's what today is all about. This is what the Organic Masterclass has been designed to do. I'm actually going to give you those strategies. I'm not going to hold anything back. If anyone knows me, if anyone's watching this that actually follows any of my stuff or knows who I am, I do not hold back at all. If you've ever been to one of my events with Victory, I run a bunch of events normally with them face to face. I give away all the strategies, absolutely everything. And that's what we're going to go through today, is how to generate 15 plus leads every week on social media without spending an absolute dollar on ads. Not required for you to build a business to, I've seen 10, 20, 30K a month just utilizing organic if you do the right things on a consistent basis. And we're going to go into all of that sort of stuff. So what we don't have enough time to show you today is all the other stuff that I talk about, which is all the business building stuff, the complete formula for a 7-figure business, service-based business, how to hire to get time back, 10 to 20 hours per week, how to manage projects, all those things that fall into the other two categories that make up a good business, which is the offer and delivery. We're going to go deep into the lead gen stuff today. But offer and delivery is really important as well for a business that has momentum. I talk a lot about momentum. And essentially that's what we're trying to achieve here with the lead gen stuff, is to be able to create momentum in the business. But for you to consistently grow and scale, you need the other two as well, which is offer and delivery. So if you have lead gen, a great lead gen system, but your offer is a little bit poor, and when I say offer, I mean things like client avatar, understanding that, unique mechanisms, having your value ladder set up, all that kind of stuff, you're just going to churn clients because you're going to bring them in. But if the delivery isn't there, you're just going to consistently churn, right? And same deal is if you don't have offer and you have lead gen and delivery, and you can see down there when they cross over, you're just on the hamster wheel because you can get clients and your delivery is good, but the offer's a little bit off. You're not really running with any sort of purpose. Your business isn't heading towards anywhere. It's not structured in such a way that it can scale. So you're running on the hamster wheel. And look, if you don't have lead gen, you have offer and delivery, that's great, but you're not going to be making any money. And that's why I've got the word broke there. What you want is a balance of all three. You want to make sure that the lead gen's right, the offer is right for market, and the delivery is good. That's how you build a service-based business with momentum. All right. So in this presentation, we only cover lead gen, not the offer or delivery stuff. But if you do want those things, like I said at the start, go to my Facebook group, 7figurenation.com. I'm constantly talking about that stuff. And we'll make sure that you have all the things that you need. But we're going to get stuck into the lead gen stuff and specifically the momentum model. So guys, hit me up in the chats right now. I'm just going to have a look over here at the moment. Hit me up if you've ever seen anything like this before. All right. So the momentum model is all about building authority on social media. All right. It starts with value. The value gets you authority online. With that authority, you start to create engagement. From engagement, you're then getting active on Messenger. Messenger brings you strategy calls and then clients. And then the more clients you have, the more experience you have, so you can add more value. right? And the idea is the longer that you take the steps that you need to take to get the clients so that you can add more value, become more of an authority, engage more, get more active on Messenger, get more clients so you can add more value. The more that you keep doing that, the more consistent you are, the longer you do that, the more traction you're going to gain. So this is the ultimate goal, guys. This is the ultimate goal, is to do these things on a consistent basis and to keep doing them. It's like a wheel. Imagine a wheel. The longer that it rolls down the hill, the faster it's going to go, the faster it's going to go. It's no different with lead generation on social. You can't just do it one day and then forget about it for a few days and then get back to it. It's a constant thing. And I'm going to give you all of those steps. So just before I give you the actual steps, a little bit about me. Kate sort of touched on it. A ton of years of experience in this brand communication stuff and lead gen. Started off in Fairfax Media, was working with like Rolex, BMW, Breguet, all these big brands, helping them online for lead gen on their side and brand communication. Started my own agency, did the whole agency thing. People were asking me how I did it and how I get clients. That's what moved me into coaching. Now I do a bit of coaching on top of the agency. So this is stuff that I actually use to get clients myself. You know, so I know that this works. I've been involved in a bunch of online programs. I'm a big believer in going out there and finding the people that are the best at what they do and learning from them. And when I've gone into their programs, it's the same stuff. You know, the absolute elite are using the strategies that I'm going to give you for free in this webinar today. So definitely take notes. Like I said, get active. You got any questions, put them in the chat and let's get stuck in because this stuff works. All right, these are just some of the messages from some of the people. Close the deal, people getting active. If you do the work like this guy did, you can get results. This guy, I mean, he came to one of my free events actually at Victory, implemented the strategies I told him, and overnight he made $9.5 grand straight up. I don't know, Sim, if you're watching, if you're on this chat, just put in the chat there. Just say hey. But it's strategies that you can do tomorrow. This is why I show you these things. This guy, before we even started working together, so he ended up doing a 3-month program with me and he made a bunch more cash. But that $9.5 grand, that's the important one, because he did that just from going to one of my events and implementing these strategies. So if you're a service-based business, seriously take notes. There is a real, like I said before, there's a real issue in market with so many gurus out there giving you they're like sprinkling value, sprinkling content with the hopes of just taking your money. I'm giving you all the strategies here. I'm going to give it to you so that you can go out and actually make money. That's what I want. That's what I want you to do. So take notes, get active in the chats with any questions. So a few people ask me sometimes like, why social media? And, you know, if there is any doubt in your mind, I just want to quickly go through the reasons you should be focusing on social media. The first one is your audience is there. Okay. A lot of people on social media, everyone's on something. So it doesn't matter who it is that you're targeting, if it's mums, if it's plumbers, if it's web designers, if it's whatever. Doesn't matter who you're targeting, they are online somewhere. And in most cases, it's very easy. In fact, not in most cases, it's easy to find them. And I'm going to actually give you those strategies in this presentation as well, how to find your ideal client. So we're going to go really deep into that, which is cool. You're able to build your personal brand. And that's what this is all about. It's about personal branding. You know, we actually go out there and we position ourselves and we become the hero of our service, right? And we're able to do that on social media so that people want to buy us just as much as they want to buy your service. You know, there are people out there that need your service, but if they want to buy you, that's powerful. That takes everything to the next level. Imagine the conversations you're having with people if they already want to buy you by the time you're talking to them. That's what we're trying to achieve here. And obviously it's completely free. You know, you've got various issues that come along with running ads for lead generation. It's definitely viable. And I do recommend it for people that are, you know, already making 20, 30, 40K a month. But getting to that point, utilize social media because it's completely free. And you don't have to deal with scaling issues. You don't have to deal with ad death. If anyone knows, if anyone's dealt with Facebook ads, you probably know what ad death is, which is basically your ads are working one day, the next day, they're not working. That's what ad death is. And you don't get that with this system. You don't get that on social in general because of what I said. You create that momentum, and you can just about predictably generate these leads. You know that you will get a certain amount of leads every single week. That is the ultimate goal here. So today, what we're going to talk about is a few things, okay? Firstly, we're going to talk about how to actually find your dream client, all right? And not just find them, but effortlessly add them into something that I call the virtual CRM, okay? So you're building up this bank of prospects, people that you're incubating to become your future clients. I'm going to take you through the actual actions to take so that dream client that you connect with is desperate to give you their money. Going to give you that strategy. You're going to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is what I need to do. And I'm actually going to show you and take you through some of the scripts that allow you to book those strategy calls with ease and simplicity. You follow the script that I'm going to give you in this prezzo, you will be able to book strategy calls. I know that because it's how I book strategy calls. Okay. And you don't have to be a genius to do this. I'm going to give this all to you. You just need to make sure that you're consistent. I've already said that a few times, and I probably will say it a few more times. Such an important part of this. So now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Now we're getting into the meat of this presentation. Okay. Profile funnels is essentially what I'm taking you through today. Everything comes back to profile funnel. And if anyone's heard of profile funnels, put them in the chat. If you've heard of profile funnel before, I want to see a number 1, because this stuff is becoming semi-mainstream right now. But so Rashana, awesome. I've heard, a few people have heard of, Vladek, good to see you, brother. A few people have heard of profile funnels. Vladek, I'm sure you heard of it from me. But these, it's becoming semi-mainstream. Everyone's kind of got a profile funnel now. It's kind of becoming, Michael Dooley, what's going on, man? Vladek, you legend. So these profile funnels are becoming semi-mainstream, like I said, but they still work because people don't do the back-end stuff right. And when I say back-end, I mean the messenger conversations. I mean, how to actually communicate with people, the framing, which is all stuff that we're going to go through today. And also, delivery at the end of the day as well. People can have a profile funnel, but if they don't actually deliver on the service, then you're not going to do very well in business. So it's still a very viable thing. In fact, it's viable. There's no doubt it's viable. This is what you need to be doing. So the idea is we want to take people on a journey. Okay, so you can see in that little graph on the right-hand side of the screen there, essentially what we're doing is we're going to other Facebook groups. All right. This is one of the strategies. All right, and I'll go through the other ones as well. We're going into other Facebook groups to find our target audience, right? Or, if it's not Facebook groups, it's something else, but we'll talk about that. The idea is to take them from our Facebook group into our personal profile. All right, our personal profile will be set up in such a way that communicates what it is that we do. Then an optional task, the next optional step is to move them into your Facebook group. So now they've come from someone else's Facebook group, they've gone to your personal profile, now they're in your virtual CRM, then they go to your Facebook group, okay? The next step after that, or while we're doing all of this, is messenger outreach is happening. And then messenger outreach ends up on a strategy call. So by the time you're actually talking to someone, they've already interacted with you a bunch of times. And if you take the specific set of steps that I'm going to talk to you about in this presentation, not only will they already know who you are, but they would have already got a whole bunch of value from you. They will have interacted with you in a really, really positive way. And that's what's going to lead to more clients. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay. So we go out there, we go find the groups. These are just a couple that are relevant to me because I'm talking to digital marketers, ClickFunnels, digital marketing beasts. Go in there, take the specific set of steps that I'm going to talk to you about today. Then after I take those steps, that forces people to come back to my personal profile. My personal profile is set up in such a way that tells them clearly about what it is that I do and who I am and why they need to take me seriously. And I'll go through that in this prezzo as well. And then the optional step, like I said, is moving them then into your Facebook group. This is my Facebook group, Seven Figure Nation, which I hope all you guys check out at some point. And then that whole time we're messaging people, and I'm going to take you through each of these 4 phases in the messenger process so that you can turn people from a prospect into someone that is basically a raving fan desperate to get on a call with you. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. So, who's pumped up? Who's ready to go? No one is talking about this stuff for free, people. This is huge. This is some epic stuff. So I'm excited to take you through this because genuinely, like I said, I want you guys to actually have some strategies and skills that you can go out there and actually get clients with this. So I'm gonna make this as valuable as I can. But if I miss anything or if you have any questions, please put them in the question in the chat and I will answer them because I want you guys to get something out of this. Okay, cool. So, like I said, it all starts with other people's Facebook groups. Social media makes it easy for us. Someone's already done the hard work for us and grouped our literal target audience into a place and created an online community where we can just go in there and network with those people. So one of the first steps that I want you to do, and I want you to write this down if you've got a notepad, I want you to go out there and I want you to find 3 to 5 Facebook groups that has your target audience in there. And like I said, there are groups for everything. Okay. Maybe it's not Facebook. Maybe it's a LinkedIn group, right? There are LinkedIn groups as well, but first try Facebook because Facebook is a great place for you to utilize this system. But you want to go out there and find 3 to 5 groups. Okay. And I'll tell you what you want to do in those groups later on. But basically, just to give you a bit of a qualifier, so the requirements for these groups, you want at least 500 people in the groups. So if we go back to these, I mean, ClickFunnels has over 200,000, Digital Marketing Beast just over 1,000. So either way is fine. I would say above 500 and below 10,000, once you start getting into like the 200,000 range, it's like pretty crazy and there's a lot of noise in there. So you want someone that has a group that has anywhere from 500 to 10,000 users. There's daily engagement. It's not very spammy. If you go in there and people are just constantly spamming their services or doing anything kind of spammy, that's not the right group for you because then you will also be seen as spammy when you're posting stuff in there. And you want to see that there are genuine questions being asked in the group and genuine questions from the people within the group to the admin and just general questions, like good questions. Like you want to see some good, wholesome activity in there so that you can get involved in that. And a little pro tip for you as well, paid groups are great. If you're clear on who your target audience is and you go out there and you find out that there's a paid group, someone's running a paid group that has your target audience in there, join that group ASAP because those people are spending money on services, on some sort of service, right? Especially if it's like a competitors group or something like that. Get involved in paid groups because those people are highly qualified. That's a little pro tip for you. But you want to go out there and you want to find 3 to 5 groups that are relevant to you. Then our goal with those groups, now that you have these 3 to 5 groups, is to get active in there and network. And I put in brackets there, like a human. It's crazy, I know, but like getting active on social media the way it was intended, which is as a networking tool, is the secret here. If we get involved in these groups and we're too spammy and we're just like throwing things in there and we have absolute no interest in genuinely helping people or anything like that, we're going to get either booted from the group or we're just not going to get any clients from that group, right? So what we want to do is we want to get involved in these groups and just get active, just communicate with people. I want you to post in those groups 2 to 3 times a week. So do it like Monday and Friday or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Never 2 days in a row. Don't do it 2 days in a row. And just start conversations. All right. Well, there are 3 different types of posts I want you to put in there. One is starting a conversation, which is, could be a topic that you're like, hey guys, this is what I think about this. What do you guys think about this? you know, like just be genuine, not in like a, hey, like if you're a marketer, don't be like in a group and be like, hey, I think marketing's pretty rad. What do you guys think about marketing? Like, don't be real cheesy. Like just get involved in the industry and start conversations, or you can add value. If your target audience is dentists, get into these groups where there's the dental, you know, association or whatever. There must be a group out there for dentists, and add value for that. Like just go in there and talk about, you know, marketing advice for dentists. If you're a marketer, for example, ask questions, you know, get in there and ask questions, like put up a post and ask a question, get a bit of engagement going on your post, and make sure that if someone comments, to comment, like to respond and start conversations and that kind of stuff. In fact, on commenting, I want you there in there daily, adding value in these groups. So I'll talk a little bit later about the schedule. Like I'm going to give you the actual daily schedule. Do this at 9, do this at 9:30, do this at 10, etc. But I want you to be in here just commenting on posts, because you're not going to get booted for commenting on posts. So if someone's posting something, and I always use the marketer example because that's who I work with. But let's say you're a marketer, you work with real estate agents, okay? You would go into a real estate group, and even if someone posted a nice listing that they had, it's like, oh, check out this listing that I've got going on in Armadale. You would comment and go, this is great. That bathroom is huge. You know, if you utilized, you know, this bathroom image and did that here and did that there, maybe you'd be able to, you know, get a few more, you know, a little bit of interest for this listing. You know, so you're adding value in the comments. But like I said, again, I can't frustrate this enough. Be a human being in these groups. So you want to get active in these groups. You want to become known. Think of it like you're actually at a networking event. Like if you're at a networking event, you wouldn't just walk up to someone and go, I can genuinely help you get a result for your business. You know, you would be like, hey man, what's going on? You know, oh, what do you do? You know, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, that's great. And that's what we're trying to do. And in fact, the theme of this entire process is be human, all right? Everything is set up in such a way so that you are a human being interacting with other human beings. Okay, cool. And while you're doing all of this, you're sending friend requests. So you comment on a post, you send them a friend request. You see a bunch of engagement on another post in the group. You send a bunch of people a friend request. You want to be sending anywhere, and again, I'll go into the numbers later on, but you want to be sending, you know, 25 to 30 friend requests a day. Set yourself a target of 25 to 30 friend requests a day. To bring it back to the networking metaphor, if you go to a networking event, you hand out business cards, right? On Facebook, it's friend requests. Friend requests is the business card of the social media world. Okay? I came up with that, by the way. I don't know if anyone else is saying it, so I'm claiming that one. I'm claiming credit for it. And if any of you guys ever use it in the future, I want you to credit me as well. And so the idea is we're sending these friend requests, and as we do, more and more people are going to be checking out our profile. In fact, without even the friend requests, you're going to start getting friend requests, because people are going to start seeing you active in these groups and they're like, oh, who's this person? You know, who's this guy or girl that's adding value in the group? And that's going to lead people to your profile. And this is why it's important to set up the profile in such a way that people know very clearly who you are and what it is that you do, and giving them the next steps. Okay, so if you guys want a really detailed understanding of how this works, go to my profile, and I'll put the link in the chat so you can check it out later. But go to my profile, right, and actually see how I've done all this stuff. I'm going to give you the kind of framework right now, but just go to my profile if you want to actually see it in action. Cover image. Cover image, say what it is that you do. Messaging is really important. And this goes back to what I said about having a really good offer. Part of having a good offer is having a good message. And so get really clear on what it is that your ideal client wants, and call them out and tell them what you can do in the cover image. So that's the first thing they see. I show digital marketers how to get high value clients and rapidly grow their agency globally. It's done. It's clear. That's what I do. That's one sentence and people understand it. All right. So that's really important. Clear intro, same deal. Tell people what you do, and a link to some sort of call, some sort of intro call, not a strategy call, but just like a 15-minute, just like a chat. or whatever. Put your link in there, just underneath your intro, like you can see in that image, and then a featured tile. Now, I haven't got an image of the featured tile, but if you go to my actual Facebook, you'll see what it looks like. Basically, where the featured images are, like normally people have like 9 and they're all like sort of stacked in the 9 boxes. If you just put 1 in there, it basically creates an ad space for you. So utilize that ad space, and it just so happens to be directly under a URL that you can actually put on your profile as well. So if you go to my profile, you'll see how I've done it, but a little arrow pointing up saying, take the next step. Here's the call to action. Here's what I want you to do. This is the next thing. And for me, that's pushing people to a Facebook group. For you, it could be a call link. For you, it could be a testimonials page on your website. For you, it could just be your website, whatever it is that you want the people to do next. This isn't the end of the funnel. Obviously there's more things to do in the profile funnel, but if someone's genuinely red hot, ready to go, loves what you're all about, they're going to click that link and actually take action. Cool. Now, with your profile, the other thing that we want people to see is valuable content. This is what I was talking about before when I said your virtual CRM, your profile sphere is the other thing that I call it as well. When people are with you, once they're connected with you as your friend, they're going to start seeing everything that you post. Okay. This is why we want to take people from the groups and bring them to our personal profile to be our friends, because then now they're going to start seeing everything that we post. And that's why we want to be posting value. We want to be posting value. We want to be posting value. We want to be starting convos. We want to be posting value. We want to be posting value. And I'm talking on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we're doing this because not only are the people that are connected with us actually seeing what it is that we're posting out there on their organic feed, but when people do come from the group to our profile, they're then seeing the cover image, they're seeing the intro, they're scrolling a bit further down. Now they're seeing your value content as well. Your Facebook profile is a sales page for your business now. Your Facebook profile is a sales page for your business if you structure it in this way and take those actions. So if you have got that notepad, again, daily content, write that down, circle it, underline it, get active online. It's not 100% required for this to work. To be honest with you, I'll just be straight up with you. It doesn't need to be done to work, but it will improve everything that you're doing outside of that. Okay. So while we're doing all of this, there's a messenger outreach action that's happening in the background. All right. While you're doing all of that, getting active in groups, bringing people to your personal profile, you are going to be accepting friend requests, bulk friend requests. You're going to be getting engagement on posts, on your personal posts, in the groups, all that kind of stuff. And when you do both of those things, you are outreaching on Messenger. Okay. So there's actually a really easy way to do this. And again, this becomes part of your daily routine, is when you set aside time for Messenger outreach, you go to these 2 places. So if you see on the bottom left-hand corner of this slide here, you've got, if you go to the Friends tab on your Facebook and then you click Recently Added, you can actually see all the people that have recently added you. And remember, we're sending friend requests on a daily basis. So anyone that's added you, anyone that's accepted your friend requests, Messenger outreach. Then if you have a look at the, this is just a snippet from one of the posts I did the other day. Over 20 likes, 28 comments. All of those people, they're ready for Messenger outreach. They've engaged with my post in some way. Okay. We've got active, we've got the people engaging with us. Now we send the Messenger outreach, and this is where we start working towards a strategy call. So now we move into the Messenger stuff. So before I move into the Messenger and actually how to implement this, does anyone have any questions about the actual profile funnel side of things? Does anyone have any questions about how to set up your Facebook, how to get active in groups, any of the rules around that kind of stuff. If everyone's all clear, that's all good. I've got questions and I've got question time at the end as well. If you have any questions, just start thinking about it, write it down, and we'll go into it. So I'm going to talk about messenger outreach now. So like I said, with everything going on, awesome, Ali, with everything going on, all of these tasks that you're taking every single day, now people are engaging in some way, and you can now send them a message on Messenger. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is you need to maintain something that I call the authority frame, because all part of what I'm doing is about positioning yourself as an authority. If you utilize this strategy, you will position yourself as an authority, and you need to maintain that frame even on Messenger. So you don't want to be needy. You don't want to be pushy. My best advice for you is take your time. Take your time with this process. It doesn't need to happen in 2 messages. You know, I'll talk about how many messages you kind of spend in each phase, but take your time with it. Enjoy the process. If you enjoy this process and you're actually enjoying having these conversations and your intention is to add value and actually help people, you will get better results from this. And that's why I say here, come from a place of care. If you actually want to help someone, they will feel that, right? If that's your intention for getting on a strategy call, they will feel that. But I'm still going to give you the phases now. So step 1, all right? So looking at these phases here, how's business phase, reveal the goal and the challenge phase, present solution phase, and the close. We're going to go through those now. So first of all, the how's business phase. This one is done in 1 or 2 messages, right? This is about setting up that frame from the very first message. So regardless of how you connected with this person, regardless of why you're messaging them, you need to justify why you're messaging them. So if they're a recently added connection, it's like, hey, good to connect, man. I think I just found you in one of these groups. Justification. And then the question that sets the frame for the conversation, how's business? Or whatever's relevant for you. And I guess one of the things I want you to do is to think about what question is relevant to you. You know, what question is relevant for your service, all right? So you ask, how's business? For me, that's what I ask, because now that brings it into a business chat. Justifying why I messaged them, bringing it into a business chat. How's business? Okay. Once we've done that, that brings the conversation into, you know, they might answer it, they might not, you know, like you kind of get a feel of how interested someone is actually having a conversation with you. From there, all our mission is to reveal their goals and their challenges. To go a little bit deeper into why this is important, there's something called the cognitive dissonance. This is something that Jordan Belfort talks a lot about in sales, and it's really, really important. We want to establish where someone is and where someone wants to go. And if you can create that gap between those 2 things, then we have dissonance. And the bigger that gap, the more that person wants to actually fill the gap as well. Or in their case, solve their problem with you because they're talking to you, right? So what we want to do first is we want to discover their goals. So we want to ask things like, where do you want to take things? You know, so we've started with how's business. They tell us how business is. And then we say, cool, well, where do you want to take things? You know, what's your vision for the next 6 to 12 months? Ask that question. Ask the questions other people aren't asking. Understand them on a deeper level. Understand what it is that they're trying to achieve. All right. Then you want to uncover the challenges. All right. And you uncover the challenges by literally asking them, so what's stopping you from achieving that? What are the roadblocks for you? What are your current challenges for actually achieving that goal? Find out what it is that they actually want. And like I said, take your time with this. Have a conversation with them about it. Find out on a deep level. The clearer that you get on their goal and their challenges, the better your strategy call is going to be with them. And the more, like I said, this person actually wants to close their gap because they understand what they really want and why they can't get there. Once you think you're clear on that, then you want to present the solution. And this is all about certainty. And when I say certainty, you want to obviously demonstrate that you can help them, but you also should be able to help them. That's a big one. right? But the certainty is important. So you want to message something like, look, I think I have a couple of thoughts to share. Really pique their curiosity as well and maintain that authority frame. So that's actually a really strong line that I do use quite a lot. I think I have a couple of thoughts to share. So you want to present the solution. You want to show them that you actually can help them, and you want to demonstrate a little bit of value. So you'd be like, look, I think I have a couple of thoughts to share. You should do this, 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 and this. You need to start thinking about this, and this, and this, and this. Right? And they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then the close, right? So you've set them up. So you've taken it to a business place. You have established a frame. You've said to them, look, how's business? What's going on? You started that conversation. Then you've worked out what it is that they were trying to achieve. Where do you want to take things? You've uncovered the challenges. What's stopping you from achieving those goals? Tell me about that. Then you've presented the solution to them with certainty. You've demonstrated value. You've told them, look, I think I have a couple of thoughts to share about this. You're maintaining that authority. And then you're telling them what they need to be thinking about. Hey, you should be thinking about this, 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 and this. You should need to do this. In fact, you know what? You should do this right away. And then the close comes. Think about that. You've taken them through that journey up to this point. They've seen you in a group. You added a whole bunch of value in the group. You sent a friend request. Now they've come to you. They've had a look at your profile. They know exactly what it is that you do. They've gone through your intro. They've scrolled a little bit further. They've seen a video that you did about SEO, and they clicked it and they watched it. And then they got a message from you. And then you took them through this process. And then you messaged them this. If I set up some time so that we can get some clarity around exactly what you need to do to reach whatever their goal is, would you want to hop on a call? All right? And you leave them with that. And yes, they're going to want to hop on a call. And from there, you ask them what time zone they're in, unless it's just based in Australia or whatever. And then you set up the time. You set up a time. One thing that I have seen coaches say is that you should actually set up the time in Messenger. So present times. And then instead of just sending them a link, like I send people a link, which is fine. You can totally do that. Especially once you build that authority. But one thing you can do is actually present times and go, hey, I'm available this day, this time, this day, this time. And then let people say yes to you. You go, what's your email? And then you send them an invite. All right. But that's power right there. That is power. How's business? What are you trying to achieve? What's stopping you from achieving it? Present that solution, hit them with the close, and start booking some calls, right? And what I am going to do now is I'm going to give you a little pro tip that not a lot of people are talking about. All right, because some days maybe you'll find that only a couple of people have accepted your friend request and you haven't really got any posts that have high engagement and you don't really know where to find more people to message. All right, I'm going to give you a few more places. There is no excuses. You should be messaging, again, like 25 to 30 friend requests a day, probably messaging just as many people as a minimum, right? First place is competitors' ads, right? So when you go to your competitor's website, and by the way, your competitors will be looking for the same people as you, right? When you go to your competitors' websites, if they are on that level, you will get retargeted by them on Facebook. Okay, so you want to go to their website, you want to make sure that that pixel hits you, and then you go back to Facebook, you see the ads, you have a look at the likes and comments on those ads, and those are all people that you can send friend requests to and message. All right, competitors' Facebook business page. Everyone that's following that page is going to be someone that you want to be talking to, the follows, the likes, the comments, friend requests, messages. Competitors' Facebook personal profiles. Maybe your competitor is doing what you're going to do, which is building their personal brand. You go and check out their friends. You go to their likes. You go to their comments. You go to their groups. You find the people. You send them the friend requests. You do all the things from this presentation. You message them. And you got red hot leads that you're talking to every single day. Okay. And like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, consistency equals momentum. The longer that you do this, the better that it's going to work. You're Don't just do it on a Monday and then don't do it for 3 weeks and then try it again on Monday and be like, oh, wow, it's just, this isn't working, Josh. You got to do this and you got to commit to it and you got to do it for, like clients have got it results very quickly. I have seen this work very fast, but what you want to do is do this for at least a month. Give it at least a month of doing this every single day and you will start to see the difference. You will start to see the difference. So what I want to do is give you a little schedule of what you should be doing every single day. What are the actual tasks? Everything that I think you should be doing, hour and a half. You can spend longer, you can spend more time, and you can get more active and do all these things times 2, and that's fine. Everything will happen faster. But if you just do this hour and a half, that's all you need to do. So from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. content. Like I said, content's really important. You want to add that value. It's how you establish that authority on your personal profile. So create the content. Dedicate the time to creating that content. 9:30 to 10 a.m., you get involved in the Facebook group activity, so the value, putting the value in those groups, commenting on posts, sending friend requests, giving out the digital business card, as they say, or as I say. And then from 10 to 10:30, messenger outreach. So dedicate time to messenger outreach. This could be happening all day, but really, and I have seen people do this, is actually schedule time for messenger because their inbox has become so chaotic, so crazy, so many people, so many unread messages in there that they have to dedicate a time in the day to actually focus on this stuff. And that's probably a good way to do it because otherwise you're just constantly on your phone and that'll take you away from client work, all that kind of stuff. So you should be setting a time to be looking at messenger, but it's okay if you're doing it throughout the day. You got to do what you got to do, whatever's right for you. And like I said, every day that you do it, the better that it will perform. So if you are taking notes, set yourself up for success right now and write down that schedule so that you can actually utilize this system every day to actually get what you need, right? So a little recap just on everything that we've talked about right now. So you need to go out there and find 3 to 5 suitable groups for you. Facebook groups that are relevant to you and your niche. Then you want to update your personal profile so that your personal profile says clearly what it is that you do and talks directly to your niche. Okay. Then the optional step is to create a group for your niche, because this is something that I haven't really talked about right now, but the next step is, maybe they come to your profile and the next step is to join the group like it is with me. Now you're building a community of your own and you can post whatever you want in there, right? So the optional step is to create a group. Then we get active within the groups. So there's groups that we've identified. We get active within those groups. We get active with them in the specific set of ways that I've talked about. And then we send friend requests, business card, bringing people to our personal profile. We add value on that personal profile to increase engagement and get more people looking at us and seeing us as an authority, which leads to, and which has been happening this entire time, messenger outreach, which leads to strategy calls. And the more consistent we are with this, the more momentum that we are going to get in our business. Okay, so it's all about creating a business with momentum. Like I've said, we've gone very deep on the lead gen stuff today. We've basically just covered the profile funnel stuff and the messenger outreach. There's still sales and all that sort of stuff and all the offer. So the next steps from here, first of all, I want you to take action. I genuinely, like I said at the start of this, I want you to genuinely get something out of this and actually go out there and be able to utilize these strategies. Hopefully I've given you enough. There's a Q&A on the next slide. So hopefully I've given you enough. And with that question time, you'll have all the steps and strategies that you need to actually win with this. But I want you to genuinely take action. So go in and change your calendar, put those things in your calendar in the schedule that I just gave you before. Put it in your calendar, lock it in. Like I use Google Calendar, color code everything. It just makes it so much easier to actually win. But taking action is so important. And that's what's going to get you results. And step 2 is actually a personal one for me. If you did get value out of this training, getting active in my group and leaving a testimonial I'd really appreciate that. And if you do that, I'll also send you a 46-page PDF that I have, 7-figure roadmap, and I'll also send you this presentation as well. At any point, hit me up if you need guidance with absolutely anything. So, Kate, do you want to moderate these questions, or do you want me to moderate them, or how do you want to do it?
I don't mind. I'm happy to. Well, I've got a few questions here. So, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name, Rakana. She asked earlier on, so if you've kind of already answered this, let me know, but she's asked how do you come up with good content or write good copy,
Sure.
that I guess produce those kind of, those meetings that you're after.
Cool. That's a great question. I get that quite a lot. So what I will say is, not everyone's an amazing copywriter, right? Including myself. Like I don't rate myself as a great copywriter, but the important thing is the intention behind the copy. Are you trying to genuinely add value, right? Like the thing that will get noticed the most is someone that's actually adding value to market, telling people stuff that can genuinely help them. So, definitely go out and improve your copywriting skills. Definitely look to become better in that space. But just as getting started, just add value. Just get active and add value as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. And I think consistency is also massive.
100%. Yeah. And yeah, Kate, you nailed it. Because you'll get better the more you do it as well. You'll find out what works really well and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, hugely. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't necessarily do this for Facebook. I mostly do it for LinkedIn, and only quite recently. And you get pretty snappy at it pretty quickly. She's just asked how long will it take to get accepted into the group, I suppose, a Facebook group. Yeah,
that's an interesting one. So, it'll take, some of them are really fast. So it depends on who the admin is, right? But as long as the first step is finding the groups that are important, right? Those 3 to 5 groups that are going to be your key focus. And then just send the requests, and then, start this process once you've got accepted into all of the groups, right? Like just set yourself up, and then set your schedule and all that sort of stuff. And then from there, you can start getting active. And so it doesn't matter how long it takes. It shouldn't be any longer than a week. If it's longer than a week, it's probably not the right group, because it sounds like it's not active enough.
Yeah, definitely. I've got another question here. How to understand that a client is a high-paying ticket or not? Like, what is the psychology of the client and their thought process?
Okay, cool. So a lot of that happens within the message outreach, right? So you want to be asking genuine questions about what their goals are for the future, what their aspirations are, and you will tell very, very quickly about if that's the right person or not. Okay, so you'll know if someone's legit or if they're not legit, just based on how they answer you or what their aspirations are for the business. One thing that you can do that I didn't talk about today, but it's another pro tip, is you can set up a survey, right? So this is something that I have done in the past as well. You set up a survey. So after they've booked a call, you get them to answer that survey. So go, cool, here's the link to my survey. Please fill this in. And if it says that they're broke, they're not willing to spend any money on ads or whatever it is that you're trying to sell, then that call just became a very, very quick qualification call. That's it. If they answer that survey and they say, yep, got a ton of money, we're ready to go, let's get it going, that's a full-on strategy call, right? Like that person is ready, like you are you're setting aside an hour and you're having a good conversation with them. But like I said, if someone isn't that person, then it's all right, this is just a really quick call to qualify, really utilize that call to qualify that person as the right kind of person.
That's good. I like that, because there's a little bit of anonymity in a survey as well. So I feel like there's the likelihood that they might be a little bit more candid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like, another thing is, like with me, I have a schedule book for booking a call with me. Anyone that books a call with me, it auto redirects to a survey. So, and 80% of people fill it in, so anyone that books a call with me, even if it's just a mate, I've had friends fill in the survey because they felt so like, that's probably a bad example because they might've been doing it ironically, but I've had clients. So I've had clients book a call with me on my link and then fill in the survey because they felt like they had to, right? And it's also a good authority frame mechanism as well, because if they're filling in your survey, if they're answering your questions, then you are setting yourself as the authority in the conversation.
Absolutely. Now, Richard, you have your hand up. I'm not sure if you have a last question, but if you do, you will be the last person. So I'm just going to allow you to talk just in case. If I can. I'm a bit of an analog girl in a technological world, guys. I apologize.
I think he's still on mute, Richard.
Yeah.
Oh.
Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted.
I didn't actually have a question. I was just a bit all thumbs on my phone screen that I've been watching on.
We've got something in common. Great.
Did you get some value from that, Richard? How did you like, did you get some value from that? Is it stuff you actually implement?
Yeah, interesting approach. I hadn't looked at it like that. So yeah, I'll go back and review the slides and have a look. But yeah, no, it was interesting aspect on it. So no, I got a lot out of it. Thanks.
That's epic. And also, I mean, if your target audience is on LinkedIn, you do the same thing on LinkedIn, right? Like it doesn't matter where you are, where they are. You utilize this strategy, these fundamental steps, and it will lead to calls.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've got a bit to think about over the weekend.
Cool, man. Love it.
Okay, thanks very much for spending Friday night with us.
Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate you joining us.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. Josh, thank you, everyone who's joined us tonight. Thank you. You can all go have a glass of wine now and some dinner.
Yes.
Josh, did you have any parting words? Where can we find you? Obviously, we can find you on Facebook, but where else?
Yeah, Facebook. Where's the best place to add me? Probably Facebook. That's where I'm most active. Get active with me on, or go to Seven Figure Nation. Like I said, sevenfigurenation.com. Join my group. You'll find me in there. Add me on LinkedIn. Just search my name on LinkedIn. You'll find me. But yeah, just wherever social media is, I am. So
Perfect.
Except for TikTok. I don't know about TikTok.
No TikTok.
I don't get it. I don't know. I tried to use it for business and I just got distracted and I was spending like 2 hours a day on it. So,
well, you know.
I just saw so just quickly, Ali, 100%. So same strategy for LinkedIn. Will it be better? It depends on where your niche is. If your niche is on LinkedIn, use LinkedIn. Cool.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful night and I will see you all again soon online. All right. Bye, everyone.